Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a new battle set team builder for you for our Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles. If you just came from the Cricketoon one, don't worry, this should be a much better team for you. Today our team member, team captain, you probably see the name already, it's Crowlirious the Murkrow. Hope you get the reference of Crowlirious. Before we begin, of course, like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and let's get into the team builder, shall we? So, Murkrow. Murkrow is, of course, not a fully evolved Pokemon. It evolves into Honchkrow, and yeah, it's more of a doubles Pokemon. But you can use it in a single setting. That's not new knowledge. It's pretty common knowledge. It's more around in the lower tiers, of course, because it is Murkrow. It is a prankster mon. We're running the Taunt and Thunder Wave. Right, in doubles, you would normally see this pair with Tailwind to get those prankster tailwinds off and faster stealth rocks, faster damaging outputs, whatnot, right? But in a single setting, Taunt Thunder Wave, it's ran similarly like a Sableye. Right? You even get the Foul Play here to be your main damaging move, and then you have Haze to get the priority Haze and reset the stats for both parties. But in a single setting, it'll be your opponent. So if you can imagine we get another bulk up Koraidon, right? Then we can haze off that boost. Right, that'll be really beneficial for us. I don't think it hazes off Hork Drives and Photosynthesis type of stuff, but it can definitely help get rid of like Swords Dances setups and Dragon Dance setups and whatnot. Foul Play again, so I should go to our stats. We're running the more specially defensive one with Eviolite here. Of course, it's frail anyway, 42 defenses across the board. And with Prankster, Eviolite, I mean, it's slightly bulky. We can probably live one of any good hit before going down. I don't think we can live any boosted hits. But that's what Foul Play is here to do. So the key is to hit Thunder Wave or Taunt, depending on what it is. So we can be anti-lead or anti-sweeper. And then when we do that, hopefully we can outspeed enough, because 91 is nothing to sneeze at. Hopefully we can outspeed and hit a good old Foul Play before we go down, because Murkrow's attack, although base 85 is decent, it's not like, wow, right? It's not like Haxorus or Scizor, right? It's not in the hundreds. It's okay. It's an okay attack step. So that's why we're running very low attack. That's why we're running Calm Nature with a minus attacking nature with 0 IVs. So it's absolutely at its minimal right now, so we can get the most Foul Play damage as possible. Our main special attacker for this set is Magnetar, making its return from BDSP into Scarlet and Violet. Of course, we're running the Magnet Pool set, which I think is probably the premier set for this game because there's Corviknights and Scizors running around. And again, Magnet Pool, as last time, we can use to trap the Scizors and other steel types. So because Scizor and Corviknight are the most prominent steel types in OU, right? So we want to trap them and blast them with a Thunderbolt. We'll OHKO Corviknights, we'll OHKO Scizors. This is the exact same spread. Of course, we're running our specs, so we're going to be doing a lot of damage. I know there's analytic out there, and I would want to run an analytic one in the future maybe, because I know that essentially free life orb boost plus the specs is going to do a lot. Maybe I'll run in a Trick Room, who knows. But we're running the same exact moves as well. So Thunderbolt, Flash Cannon, Volt Switch. The only difference is we're running Terra Water to counter our water weakness, our ground weakness, and our fire weakness pretty well. We're still walled by Gastrodon, don't get me wrong. We're actually hard walled by Gastrodon. But this is going to help us at least get a little edge against those other water and ground types. So Crocodile, we're going to hit it hard. Fire types. Chiyu, I'm going to say Chiyu, we can hit hard. Skeledirge is right in front of me. Skeledirge we can hit hard. So that's why we run Terra Water. It's a defensive option and an offensive option at the same time. Our purely defensive wall for this set is Doberman, the Dachshund, making its debut in Scarlet Violet. Yes, the dog, one of the few dogs of the gen, besides Houndstone and Mabostiff. Dachshund here. Now, you might be thinking, this is not exactly a good mon, and you're right, I mean, it's NU, but its main purpose is to be a defensive wall. So, in testing right now, I tell you what, it hasn't been, I'm not a good, wish passing type of player, right? You see me use Gardevoir, I like to wish protect, right? Or or use the wish for myself in advantageous situations to heal myself, right? Not really pass it on to my teammates. But with Dashbun, it's been pretty dang easy to wish past this to someone else, and heck, with Wish Protect combination, I can heal myself, and the leftovers is just amazing. It's, I think, one of the underrated mons, I feel, because yeah, this thing eats hits for days. This thing again can do damage to the Meowscaradas and Roaring Moons really well. You know, that's not even going into play rough. I'm saying body press, right? Like you seen Orthworm last time body press Meowscarada, right? This time we're running body press on the Doberman, and those knock it out most of the times. I don't think I had rocks up because I'm not running stealth rocks unless there's chip on it. I'm pretty sure it OHKOs most of the time, and it completely walls Roaring Moon. So we're pretty dang good with this Pokemon right now. Max defense, because you know its stats out of all of them, 115 and the 95 is what sticks out the most, right? 80 attack is you know, okay, right? It's what, under Murkrow? It's even less than Murkrow, so that's a reference for you. And Spadef is decent, you know. So this is just mainly for our defensive wall purposes. Well, Big Body is a new ability brought into the game. It gives us a fire immunity, right? We have a fire immunity now because of Magnetar, Quantum. Of course, they're Terra Water, spoilers, but we have a fire immunity, and with the boosted defense at +2, if we take a fire move, Body Press hits even harder. So it does give our opponent, you know, they can't just spam fire moves, right? Even, you know, Walking Wakes in the Sun with flamethrowers or Koraidon with Flare Blitz, right? They have to watch out, right? They don't want to give this thing a boost because we can do a lot of damage back to them now. Our purely physical attacker for this one, our strong physical attacker, is Halberd, our Haxorus, making a debut. Choice Banded Haxorus. Now Haxorus is a very big threat in the UU meta game because it's higher than RU. In the UU metagame, I have made 3 sets of a Life Orb set, a Scarf one, and a Banded one, and I love the Banded one. I didn't know which one to run. I just know I love Haxorus because of its power, so I didn't know which one to run, so I chose the Banded for this one. Hopefully it doesn't bite us in the butt. We're running Mode Breaker, of course, to ignore Levitates, right? Dragon Claw is our main stab, although you can argue why not have Outrage in there. And I don't know, I just feel like Outrage locks us in and then it makes us a little more susceptible for damage. But then you can argue it's the same thing with Dragon Claw. But I don't know, I think if I lock myself into Outrage, right, I'm locked in until I'm confused. So they can get a Fairy, so my opponent can bring a Fairy type in and then just destroy Haxorus. So I don't want that. Hopefully that prediction's right. I hope, you know, you can correct me down there. But yeah, that's why I'm running D-Claw. Hopefully it doesn't bite me in the butt. Earthquakes for steel types, and again Rotom, because Rotom's running around, right? Iron Head is for fairy types mostly, and Close Combat is for steel types as well. We're running Terra Fairy to be a more defensive option against other dragon types. So again, Koraidon's a big one, Haxorus, Excalibur. Alright, we get rid of a weakness, we have a steel and poison weakness, but that's why we run EQ. We have Earthquake right here to do the damage back to all the fairy types we want to. Alright, and then Iron Head for opposing fairy types when we get into that situation. Even ice types as well. So Excalibur better watch out. Hopefully this hits hard in Garchomp. I'm pretty sure you hit hard in Garchomp. I think you're naturally stronger. Our next other wall, and I say other wall because I think this spread is wrong. I believe it should be this instead, not max defense, is our Lizzie, a Skeledirge, making a debut as well, Gen 9. We're running heavy duty boots with Unaware. So Unaware, in case you're unaware, it ignores all the stat changes. So this is hopefully, so besides Murkrow hazing away stat boost, this is another Pokemon we can kind of ignore stat boost as well. When we ignore the stat boost, of course we ignore every single boost. So hopefully, if we're against an attacker, for example, we can Will-O-Wisp them and nerf their attack. And with the combination of Slack Off, we can recover a bunch of health back. And with Torch Song and Hex chipping them down with the burn, we can do a lot of damage and take care of a lot of walls, right? So Skeledirge is known to be a very big wall in this metagame. This is directly taken from Smogon, by the way, the Skeledirge set, because I know of the throat spray one. I know of the specs one. I believe. I think it's specs. But I've seen this defensive one. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. Let's just try it. So I just copied and pasted directly the moveset and the spread. So let's see how how good this most common set of Skeletors really is, right? Get the footage on my end to show you guys, And yeah, last but not least, we have Quantum. Quantum, our Scizor is back, our defensive Scizor. A little bit different. It's a mixed defensive Scizor this time. We have a lot more Spadef in it with a little bit defense in it, and then max HP, of course. So this is, besides the spread here, moveset is different. Moveset is more or less the same, rather. So we have Bullet Punch, U-Turn, Defog, of course, with Heavy Duty Boots to remove hazards, because I'm not running any hazards. So Defog to clear hazards. And then we're running the Terra Water. That's the big difference. We don't have Roost anymore, but we're running Terra Water to be a good water counter. So Heatran's can't exactly wall us. Of course, you're like, oh, why don't you run Brick Break? Trust me, that's a thing. I still have one in the back, just not here today for you. But Terra Water is here to get rid of all the water types and the fire types. This is hard countered by Gastrodon, so hopefully we don't encounter that problem. Hopefully our teammates are able to handle it for us. But yeah, we are kind of hard countered by Gastrodon with this team, I'm noticing. Oh boy. Hopefully that doesn't bite us in the butt. Yeah, it's still a defensive Scizor. Very good Pokemon, still very common. It's UU, not OU. But still, a very good Pokemon. Don't underestimate it. And with that being said, let's go to the summary. This is the summary for you all. Here's the sets and everything, and its glory in one big, nice page for you all. This is the team. We're running Crowlirious. We'll see how the battles go. In testing, this looks like a very promising team. Although this, I'll admit, testing with this team has been very scarce. I've been also working on other teams at the same time, so I can kind of hop into the live battles, record them at a quicker pace. So I'm doing a lot of practice battles on the side, right? But it depends on which teams I have lined up. I have them all written down on a list somewhere, and I'm practicing ahead of time so I can hopefully perform well for you guys on the big screen. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that good stuff down below. How do you think we'll do? Leave your feedback down below. What do you think? What would you do different? There's the word. What would you do different for this team to make it better? Yeah, how do you think we'll do? Obviously, when this goes up, all the battles are recorded, but feel free to predict how we're going to do down below. With that being said, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.